Hey, Bobby!
How's everybody in Asia?
Woohoo! Bobby, it's a United Nation crowd in this room today.
I see.
Jeffrey.
We got India here. We
Yeah.
got everything.
Amazing, bro, amazing, Bobby. Let me
Looking
just.
at all the people online. Wow. Hello, everybody.
Hello. You know,
Hey,
Bob.
Bernard. Looks like Bernard and Sam are here too.
Yes. Everybody. Hey, Bobby. You just created a phenomenon. Do you know what's that? People, wait, let me just spotlight your video, okay? Do you know, Bob? People actually take leave from their work just to listen to you, Bob. you're amazing, Bob. You're truly amazing. Okay, guys, before I actually bring Bob up, let me do a quick intro about this amazing friend of mine. And I'm so happy, I'm so privileged, so blessed, so honored to have this amazing individual right in front here with us today in this morning, especially now with what's happening all over the world with the COVID 19 and some places still having this lockdown and all that. With technology, I'm able to even get Bob into my living room right now. I'm so happy. So,
High
okay.
five.
Yeah, high five. Yeah. All right. So, guys, who is Bobby Gridelli? Bob Gridelli. Let me tell you my version of Bob Gridelli. Okay. Uh, the first person I met in Enagic International, apart from Samsia, apart from my late upline, my late sponsor, the late Andrew Wee, is this really handsome looking, even though he's slightly aged a bit, but he's still very good looking. Is this guy here called Bob Gridelli? The reason why I said that is very simple. My sponsor, the late Andrew, one day we met in my previous network marketing office. I was doing pretty well that time. No idea, no plans in changing business or anything. And this friend of mine passed me a DVD, a blank DVD, guys. And this was 2011 when Malaysian never probably heard of Kangen water before. Okay, there's no office, nothing. And he gave me this DVD and he says, and guys, those days there wasn't, people don't see YouTube. I'm not sure if there's YouTube around, but 2011, people were still peddling these DVDs, pirated, the pirated DVDs, the CDs. Very interesting. And he gave me this DVD and he told me, Gary, you must check this out. This is going to be the opportunity of the lifetime. I was like, what? There's no label on that DVD. It looks like a porn movie, that kind of rinky-dink thing, like what Daniel talks about. And I said, what? There's nothing, and you tell me this is going to be the opportunity of a lifetime. Never mind, it's okay. I believed him because he's a dear friend of mine. I played that video on my desktop, and that first person that I saw, guess who is that? Okay, before that guy is a very popular actor of my mother's time. He's called Pat Boone, right? So, but Pat, after talking, and I was very surprised because my mom was standing, my late mother was standing behind me, and my late mother was saying, "Hey, that's Pat Boone." And I said, "Mom, you know that guy?" He says, "Yes, that's a very popular actor, a singer, and all that." I said, "Wow, this company must be amazing. Even got a celebrity there." And then Pat Boone passed the entire session to this really amazing individual called Bobby Gridelli. And I'm so happy because when I was looking at Bob doing that demo, it was like, number one, it was magical. Bob, you really did an amazing, fantastic job. It was like, even though I didn't see it live, I was seeing it a couple of thousand miles away from where you are on a laptop. I was like looking at it and I say, hey, this is really special. And Bob, as you know, he's known all over the world as the king of demo. Oh, sorry, I've not recorded this event. How can I not do this? Okay, let me just record this to cloud. All right, and and I said, like if this guy here can do it for the Western market, of course, blonde hair. Hey, Bobby Gridelli was like golden hair at that time. Now it's a bit brownish, but when that video I saw, it was like golden. Golden hair, blue eyes. Whoa, that look itself, I'm sure it sold many machines, all right? So like I saw that video and I told myself, I said, if that guy can do it in the Western market, I believe this high school graduate here can do something for the Asian market. And that's how I got started. And Bob, I'm not sure I told you this, but if I've not told you this, I want to tell you, you and your amazing partner, Daniel DiMacali, both of y'all actually played a very big role in the explosion of the Asian market, because at that point of time there was no reference. Unlike today, at any one time you just press in YouTube, Google, whatever, you can see a lot of things. But those days, the two highest gross selling DVDs through my hands was your DVD and Daniel's DVD. So today, having you on this show and being in a way connected to you personally, you remember last year we were at the Park Disco at San Diego. We had such good fun together. Yeah, so having you as a buddy, as a friend, and now having you right in front of all of us, just to have 10% glimpse of what's going on in your mind, in your heart, and in your experience of your business, it's a big contribution to me and the world. So with this, guys, let's all give the one and only Bobby Gridelli a big round of applause. Yeah! All right, Bobby, welcome to the show, Bob.
Thank you so much. Good to be
Awesome.
here.
Awesome.
Sorry, I
What's
was a
your
couple
type?
minutes late. I had to pick up the kids at the pool.
Hey, no worries. You know, Bob, you are also one of my inspiration in the lifestyle factor, because every time I see your post on Facebook, you are either hiking somewhere in a pool, in a beach, kayaking. Wow. So I'm proud to say that I'm how should I say? I'm getting there, and we get to do all this together in the very near future. So amazing.
And that's why we do this, right?
And that's
To
the
create the
whole idea.
lifestyle we all want. To do the things we want to do, to spend time with our family,
Awesome.
to help other people, That's why we
Yes.
do this.
That's true.
Change
that's true.
your water, change
your life.
Right?
It's not only about changing your health, right? It's change your life, right? So
Correct.
entire life,
It
right?
says life, not change your water, change your health.
Yes.
True health, physical health, financial health brings you peace of mind or mental health. That's the pillars of Enagic.
Exactly. Okay, Bob. Unlike me, there are some very new people. Do you know, Bob? I've also got to get very close to one of your team, all the way in Australia, the Samoan community. I'm very sure you know about that, right?
Yes.
The Greek PT and the Depth Pace. I think you are not mistaken. Yes. So there are a lot of new people here today, from all over the world, from India, from Malaysia, from Cambodia. Okay. And unlike me, that I've got to know you through the years, the last 9 years that I've been doing this business, some of them are fairly new to you, but they've heard a lot about you. You are like the legend, Bob. You are like the legend in the Enagic world. So tell us, Bob, how did you started? What was your previous background before Enagic? How you started, and what got you fired up, to do this business?
I never thought I would be a legend, you guys. I don't look at myself as a legend. It's just that, I became known because of that, that the demo with Pat Boone and then Elvis Stoico, and that just spread around the world. And I found out I speak like about a dozen languages. But I'm
great.
just like you guys, I'm just like everybody on this Zoom. We all strive to, have a better life, to, spend time with the people we care about, our family, our friends, and do the things we want to do. And that's really what everybody wants, right? Everybody on this Zoom, you want the same thing. And I was kind of striving to do that most of my life. I had turned a I don't know, I had an entrepreneurial mindset from a young age. I turned a hobby from high school into a business.
Wow.
I knew I never wanted to go to work for anybody else. So I got involved in the automotive trim industry. So I used to have a business where I serviced car dealers for aftermarket accessories, you know, striping packages, molding packages, different things like that. So when you look at Robert Kiyosaki's 4 quadrants, right?
Yep.
So I knew I had a few jobs in my life, but not many, because I knew I didn't want to be in the E quadrant.
Yep.
And you know, maybe I got that from my dad. He had a number of small businesses, from, you know, a gas station to a Dunkin' Donuts to, you know, a camera business. So he had many little different businesses. So I guess that's why I didn't want to be in the E quadrant. And so that's what I did for, you know, Gary, probably for half my life, you know, the automotive trim industry.
Wow.
I grew up in Chicago area, you know, out the suburbs of Chicago, Illinois. And, you know, ended up moving to California when I was about 28 years old. So that was half my life ago. And it goes by quick, you guys, a blink of an eye.
Bob, you are originally an Italian, are you, or some Italian blood or something? Were you Italian?
Second generation born in America. Yeah.
Right.
Grandparents came over in the late 1800s from Italy. So my parents were born in Chicago, you know, lived in the Italian neighborhood on Taylor Street. And so I was second generation born in America. But when I moved to California, I started my auto trim business back up here. I came to visit some friends in Manhattan Beach, and that's all it took was one vacation. I'm going, why am I living here? You know, in Chicago, it's freezing cold in the wintertime, it's hot and humid in the summertime, and there's only a few other good months in between. So, you know, I was 28, packed up, moved to California, you know, lived a couple blocks from the beach. You know, that's where I met, you know, Dr. Dave Lessman and,
right.
You know, Daniel and, you know, so many other friends, you know, too many to mention, when I moved to California. And then I got bit by the network marketing bug in, let's see, around a good friend of mine who's from the south of France, who was living in Manhattan Beach, introduced me to Daniel DiMicali.
Wow.
And Daniel was coming out of another company, and he was one of the first ones. He was a pioneer in launching the home-based business for travel business.
Right.
You know, to combine networking with the travel industry. And so home-based travel business. And I love to travel. Like, who doesn't like to travel, right? We all love to travel and experience the world and different cultures, and, you know, and you know, if you ask somebody if they have enough time or money, what's the number one answer you always get?
Both.
Yeah, if you have time and money, right? They say, "Oh, I would travel more."
Yes.
There's a lot of people who have money but no time, right?
Yes.
So they don't even get to travel much.
That's true.
Those are people that are slaves to their business, slaves to their job. You know,
no meaning.
They're too busy, right?
Yeah.
And then there's a lot of people who have enough time, but no money, right? So they can't travel. So if you say, if you had enough time or money, what would you do?
Right.
You know, 99% of the time it's travel, spend time with my family, you know, whatever, see the world. And,
awesome.
And we've gotten a chance to do that. So I got involved in that travel business with Stefan and Daniel, and that's why I first experienced a little bit of success in this industry, but it was short-lived. It only lasted 2 years, and the company went out of business.
Right.
And that was one of the saddest days of my life, because I loved that company. We were a little early. Hey, my friend Bernard Chan. Looking good there, Bernard. So it was a little too early, right? We didn't really have the internet yet.
Yep.
So it wasn't, online bookings weren't really there yet. This was 95.
Wow.
And the company only lasted 2 years. And my second year, I had earned like a six-figure income, had 4,000 people on my team, and I was so excited. And one day, just like that, it's gone. You guys imagine. So I had given up my auto tune business, right? Because this was it. I was going to do this. I was all in. I was 1,000%. This was it. And then it gets taken away from you. So it was roller coaster going down, right? It was a winter season for me. That year it was 2006, I think.
Right.
Convention. I like to listen to Jim Rohn, you guys. He's one of the granddaddies of. You like Jim Rohn too?
Amazing, amazing guy.
Almost all your motivational speakers have learned from Jim Rohn, right? Tony Robbins, everybody kind of spun off from Jim Rohn.
Right.
And I love his training about the seasons of life, seasons of business.
Yes.
And that was a winter season for me, you guys. And I tried to find another company with some of the team. And, I don't know if I'd shared this story too much with everybody. But you guys are getting the full version tonight since you're getting the full. Sorry if you hear some kids in the background. That's all
right.
We have kids from home, right? Office from home. Kids are everywhere. I got 5 now. I'm beating you.
You beat me to 1. All right.
Bernard beat both of us.
Yeah, Bernard has 6.
Mr. O'Shea said he needs 2 more because he needs 8 because of like 8-point compensation. Got to have 8 kids.
That's a good one, Bob. Go ahead, Bob.
So I need 3 more, and you need, I need
4 more.
You need 4 more.
Yeah.
We'll all have 8. And, So you guys, I looked for another company and in the travel industry, and we got into another one, and it kind of fell apart too. We got into another one, it fell apart, it died. Then I decided to get into, some of my team had already gotten into another company that had been around for 20-some years in the health and wellness industry. So I decided to join them. I spent 6 years in that company, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday meetings. Tuesday, Thursday meetings, Saturday training. I did that, you guys, consistently for 6 years. Wow. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, no matter what. I barely missed any. And I didn't do that well in that company, you guys. 6 years. Wow. But I was consistent Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. And we did okay in that company, but nothing that I would, maybe a lot of people, they'd say it was good, but I didn't think it was very good. And then it kind of fell apart on me. I had a leader in Japan and India that kind of collapsed. One of their parents died and they came back home. And leadership without them, the business kind of fell apart. Another one in Japan kind of fell apart for some other reasons too. And so, you guys, I was at that point in my life, let's say I was 45 years old, and my business went like this again. Another winter season, you guys.
Yeah.
And at 45, and I'm living in California, and business collapsed, income collapsed, and 45 years old, you guys, and for the first time in my entrepreneurial career, I had to go get a job.
Serious?
How would you guys feel?
That is one story I've never heard of it. You got a job.
You guys are getting the full story tonight. Not everyone's heard this story.
Amazing.
I didn't even know if Bernard heard this story. Maybe he did. I'm not sure.
Well, what job did you get yourself into?
Well, see, and it's hard to get a job when you're an entrepreneur, right? Most of you guys, like I was unemployable. You're not employable when you're an entrepreneur, right? But this was and I'm going to share this, you guys. This is 2.5 years of my life that I didn't know why at the time. I didn't know why it was happening. It was really hard for me. It was probably, I kind of hit rock bottom. And sometimes we all go through those things in life, right?
Yes.
And
very true.
And we may not understand, and I would pray about it, and God, why is this happening to me now? But you just have to keep the faith, believe, and trust, right? And so, but this was an old friend of mine, so I'm telling you guys, it wasn't all that bad. It was an old friend of mine who had been trying to recruit me for years to come work with him in his business and run a crew. And it was a guy that I've known since I'm a teenager, and we grew up together in Chicago. So, that was kind of a fun experience, getting to spend some time with him and reunited. But I had to leave California, you guys, something I didn't want to do. California was my home now. I loved the beach. And I had to go, you guys. Let's see. I got rid of my car, got rid of my place, my house, and I had to pack up and leave and go to Houston, Texas.
Wow.
Now, I don't know, you guys, from the beach in California going to Houston, Texas is not a good thing. It's hot, it's humid, they got a lot of mosquitoes, but actually where Danny lived was about 30 minutes outside of Houston. He was right on the water also. So in a place called Kemah, Texas, which is kind of a tourist area, the big boardwalk and restaurants and things. So I went, I had to move to Houston. And so I took this job. He owns a company. He has a unique business, you guys. He's what's called the ornithologist. And that means he solves bird problems.
He solves?
Bird, like flying birds.
Okay, birds.
Bird problems.
Okay.
Like most people don't think of this, but there's big companies, the airlines,
Okay.
No, you didn't. Well, you have some water to bring it back to me. Or refill it and bring it back to me. Thank you.
Bob, it's like the veterinarian for birds, right?
No, he's more like the exterminator for birds.
Oh, okay. The Terminator. Okay.
Yeah, the bird terminator. No, really, most of the time we did work for like the military. They got these giant hangars for their expensive jets, the airlines. So we put in specialty products in the hangars that stop the birds from coming in, stop them from nesting. Most people never think about this, but it's a problem for these companies.
Right.
My buddy, has been in that business for a long time.
Okay.
And so I had to run a crew, you guys. I had to go from being an entrepreneur to working in a man lift with a hard hat and harnesses. And you guys working sometimes 60 to 100 feet in the air.
Wow.
Yeah, it was, shooting steel pins into beams and things like that.
You have any photos? You have any photos to show us, Bob?
You know what? That I should find that. That needs to be part of my story.
Yeah,
my storyline. I don't have those phones anymore, unfortunately. Not like today. We got all our pictures.
Yes.
Thank you, baby. I got all now today. You got all your pictures in the cloud. And what? You thirsty? You got plenty of Kangen water. My daughter's telling me she's thirsty. I go, this is the house of water. What are you talking about?
So that guy introduced you to Kangen?
No. So here's the story. I'll kind of go fast through that part.
Okay.
2.5 years, right? Living on the road. 3 months here, 2 months there, 3 months here. It was rough. And but we had fun. It's with my buddy and crew of guys. And but it was hard. We barely got any time off. I got to come back to California like once for 3 days in 2.5 years. And then finally, we got a break. We were so busy, but we finally got a break, and our next contract with another military base wasn't for like 3 months.
Right.
So I was like nonstop for 2.5 years. I get a 3-month break, and I go, I'm going home to California, you guys. So I came back here, and I was busy. So this is that was March, April of 07. March, we got off. So I had March, April, May, June, July. I had to be back in Houston in July. So April, I go back to California. I'm either staying at Dr. Dave's house on the beach or my other buddy Adrian in like Little Tokyo area, which is like right down by downtown LA. And I'm just vacationing, you guys, visiting friends and family, and I get the infamous call while I'm on vacation from my friend Arlene Agoncillo, girl I've known for about 20 years that originally knew from Daniel's travel business.
Okay.
And she calls me up, have you ever heard of Kangen water? No, what's that? What's this? No, I never heard of Enagic, this Japanese company. Like most people, when you guys are probably presenting it even today, no, what's that? Right? It's the same. That was 13 years ago, but it's the same today for most people, right?
Exactly.
Right? She told me all these amazing stories, you guys, and I had a hard time believing the stories. I had known her. She has got four daughters. I've known them since they were babies, and one of them was like 21 now, and she got I don't know if we're supposed to talk about. Well, this is recorded. I'll keep it generic so we can, be happy with the Enagic and not do any medical claims or anything.
Right.
So
okay.
She had some type of health problem. Let's put it that way. And she told me how the water helped her, and I had a hard time believing because I've been drinking water for 49 years of my life, right? Like all you guys, however young or old you are. 49 years of drinking water, it's hard to believe. It's hard to think outside that box, right? Water?
Exactly.
Really? Are you sure? And then she told me all these other amazing stories, from friends at their church. And I knew, here's where the good thing, credibility with your friends comes in, right? I knew she wouldn't lie to me, right? She's a good Christian woman, and, I've known her for a long time, so I had to listen, you guys, because I knew she wouldn't tell me stories, or stories that weren't true. Our business is about stories. So she told me all these amazing stories. Then the good little networker she was, or is, she said, hold on a second. Didn't tell me what she was doing. You can already guess what she did, right?
Yeah, of course.
She puts me on a 3-way call without telling me with Eli Daffish.
Oh.
She comes back and she goes, hey, Bob, I want to introduce you to one of my business partners, Eli Daffish. Eli, meet Bob Gridelli. That was April of 07, you guys. I was on the phone with Eli, for about an hour. He's got me watching, Dr. Shinya videos, colon videos. And, then they invited me to come down to, they piqued my curiosity, right?
Right.
So you guys, that's all you got to do is pique people's curiosity. They get them to have an open mind just to take a look, right? That's all you got to get good at. Inviting to take a look. That's it.
Right. Bob,
Yeah.
sorry, can I stop you there?
Yes.
So she got you on a 3-way call with Eli, but you were just listening to what he says, right? You didn't actually see a visual like what you guys did, that demonstration with Pat. You didn't see that, right?
After the call, I think I watched somebody doing a demo,
So that demo wasn't like created by you? I mean, before there was somebody already doing that kind of demo already?
Yeah. There was another guy by the name of George who actually created that presentation, that demo. So they invite me to a live demo, you guys. I go down to Enagic's little office, 40 people jammed in a room. I'm sitting in the back. I invite, though, my friend and boss, Danny Cigarella, and his wife, right? Because they were in town. They were actually in town saying goodbye to a friend of ours that was dying of cancer. Somebody that used to work with us. He was only 38 years old, and he was on his deathbed. He had been fighting a rare form of lymphoma cancer. They exhausted his insurance to the tune of $3 million, doing the usual treatment, chemo, radiation, surgery. Then no more money left. Sorry.
Game over.
They said,
Game over.
Put him on morphine and hospice and morphine and said, you got 2 weeks to live probably.
Gosh.
So I invite Danny and Kim to take a look. And all three of us watched that first presentation. It was Eli Daffish, Michael Maxwell, the water man, the water expert, 20 years in the water industry. Eli, motivational speaker, owned his own network marketing company before. So I'm watching two experts, right? 2.5 hour presentation.
Wow.
So much information, right? Information overload. I'm telling you guys this for a reason. So you don't do it. Okay? Because I sat in the back of the room, even me with experience in the industry, right?
Right.
I sat in the back of the room and I go, not a business for me. I couldn't do this business. I got to go back to school. I got to learn too much about being a water expert. The demonstration is way too hard, right? But what stuck out in my mind? The visual of the properties of the water, the pH drops, the tea bag, the ORP meter, the difference you can see, the visual, cleaning the tomatoes, the chlorine test, right? That visual, which was probably only 30 minutes of the presentation, right?
Yes.
That stuck out in my mind. All the rest, I don't know. I sat in the back of the room. Not a good business, but I'm interested in the water, right? I left the presentation understanding living water, dead water. After 2 days, I can't go back to drinking dead bottled water anymore because I feel like this body, our body's like a temple, right? So when we find something good, how can you watch the presentation and go back to putting dead water in your temple, right? It's like having a Lamborghini or Ferrari and putting regular fuel in it. It's not going to work. And so once you understand that, so I went to Enagic a couple days later, met Eli, my friend Arlene. We went down to buy our SD501. It was April 27th of 07. Just going to be a customer, you guys. I'm already thinking, no, not a good business. And another reason why I was thinking that, because I found a travel business that I just started to do also. I found a travel business with some of our old team, my friend Vicky Dumag and Stefan, and we had just gone to St. Louis they wined us and dined us to see their operation, and we finally found a travel company that was going to do it right.
Oh, okay.
And so that month of May, I buy a machine. I actually go hook that machine up at my friend Jason's house, who's dying of cancer. And I told his mom, I said, listen, it's probably too late, but I want you to get him drinking as much of this water as you possibly can. Just get him drinking water when he's not knocked out on the morphine, and let's just see what happens. What do we got to lose? They already gave him his death sentence. But let's give it one last shot, right? Something. And we got pretty excited because after 2 weeks, Jason started changing his attitude from giving up and saying goodbye to his friends to fighting.
Wow. And
we all know the power of the mind, right? Also with the power of prayer, and right? So he started telling his mom, I think I can beat this thing, which was a total, a 360-degree turnaround from what he was doing, you guys. And this was a rare form of cancer. I'd never seen anything like it. It was probably what I would describe what leprosy would be like.
Oh gosh.
It was eating him alive, like his ear, and he had
Right.
open sores all over his body. And so why did he change his attitude? His bowel movement got better, his
Wow.
appetite got better, and his open sores started to scab over.
Wow.
So the body was showing signs to him that it was working, it was trying to fight, it was trying to heal itself. And so that got him to, totally go the opposite direction. And it was just an uphill battle, you guys. I wish I had found Kangen water, a year earlier, for his sake. He lived another 3 months, and then he just didn't wake up one day. Who knows? The morphine could have shut down his organs. The
Right.
morphine's feeding the cancer. The morphine's creating more acid in the body, which is feeding the cancer. And so it was just an uphill battle. But that was my whole intention with the water, was just to try to help him. I would get water myself from his house, over that next 30-day period, and I was drinking the water myself. I would fill up my own gallons and take the water with me, and I noticed more energy, sleeping better, lost 10 pounds in 4 weeks, no more swelling my knees when I'd run or work out, was popping Advil, and that was just the acid building up in my joints causing inflammation, right? I haven't had a knee problem, you guys, in 13 years since I invested in the SD501. And so that was my product story, right? But I'm doing the travel business. I'm not doing water. But here, Danny Ciccarella bought a machine the same day I did. That's how Eli Daffers told me to fill out the W-9 form, just so you can get a free machine, because Danny already wants, well, his wife wanted to buy the machine. Danny said, thanks for inviting me to this presentation. You just cost me $4,000. That's how he felt. So his wife had to have it, though. Once she saw it, she was always into all different kinds of health products. So, you guys, here's how the business launched. He takes his machine home to Kemah, Texas, hooks it up. I'm vacationing in LA, right? And his parents come to visit, who I've known, since I was a kid. They were now in their 70s. He didn't tell them anything about it. Knew his dad wouldn't believe it. Italian from Chicago. His dad, you guys, used to shine Al Capone's shoes when he was a kid.
Wow.
There's a lot of stories that go behind that, too. We don't have time for that.
Okay, all right.
Everyone knows who Al Capone is, right?
Yes.
One of
the famous Godfather.
Right?
The famous Godfather.
The Godfather.
All right.
So there's some stories there we'll tell another day.
Okay.
So his dad, he knew his dad wouldn't believe it. He just tells him it's a Japanese filter. Drink the water while you're here. After 7 days, his dad goes, "You're not telling me something. I want to know what's in this machine." And Danny goes, "Why?" He goes, "Last night's the first time I slept all night in 10 years. He suffered from insomnia."
Oh.
So I can't imagine what insomnia would be like, because I sleep well, right?
Right.
But if you're deprived of sleep, it has to be horrible. And to sleep all night, right? That must be priceless to somebody. A full night's sleep. And so Danny said, "Okay, Dad, sit down. Here's where the tool comes into play. The only tool we had 13 years ago." Okay?
Yep.
No YouTube,
Oh,
no
YouTube.
Zoom, no Facebook. You guys, there was nothing. Just think what's happening in 13 years is amazing. We had one little DVD. Some people on the line are going, "What's a DVD?" Probably young ones. If there's some millennials on the Zoom, they're going, "What's that?"
Yeah.
They may have never seen one. So we had a DVD that had a 45-minute presentation, and this guy, George, is the one who changed the demo as we all know it today.
Right.
And so we all start. So Danny shows his dad that DVD, and so all he knew how to do was two things, you guys. Press play and press a button on the Kangen water machine. Who can do that?
Me. Anybody.
Right? So
Yeah.
here, think about my first presentation. I thought too difficult. You got to be an expert. It's too hard. You know, all this going through my head. So
Yes.
Danny gets so excited about what the water did for his dad, and his mom comes walking up the stairs going like this with her hands. Oh, my hands! I can move my hands so much better, right? Because they were getting stiff and, you know, too much acid building up into the joints. And so Danny gets so excited. He what I call ignorance on fire, right?
Yep.
I'm Italian. He's Italian, but he's Sicilian. You guys.
Ah, okay.
You couldn't shut him up. We talk a lot with our hands too, and so you couldn't shut him up. He's telling everybody he knows in the Houston, Chicago area. You know, he's telling them he's got miracle water, and he went to Home Depot. You know, you guys might not have that there. It's a big hardware store, right? He bought every 5-gallon construction cooler they had in stock. And he filled them all up. He numbered them 1 through 50. 50.
50. Amazing.
Everybody in Texas has a pickup truck. He has a couple of them, right? He loaded his pickup truck with all these 5-gallon containers, and he started bringing the water to everybody he knew in Houston area. 50 people, you guys, in the first 30 days.
Wow.
And then he sat down and made them watch the DVD. And showed the presentation for him, right? He didn't have to do anything. Make water, press play. The guy got so many people, you know, of course he gave everybody 9.5, so probably a lot of people were running to the bathroom and, you know, all kinds of stuff. But people were feeling the water, right? They're detoxing, whatever's happening. The guy sells 27 machines in the first 30 days.
Wow. Amazing.
April 27th, that's May of 07. 30 sales, right? Ignorance on fire. So excited. People understood his excitement, right? They had to know what it was about. They drink, okay, I'll try it. Yeah, I'll watch the DVD, right? So what do I get in the mailbox while I'm vacationing in LA?
Checks.
27 checks show up in the mailbox, right?
Woohoo!
I'm doing the travel business, right? But checks keep coming to the mailbox, right?
Woohoo!
So you guys, I made a little bit of money in the travel for that 30 days. Right. And I made quite a bit of money in Enagic not doing anything. So I had to kind of weigh the scales, and I go, okay. So here's what I told my team in the travel. I go, listen, you guys, it's Stefan, it was Vicky, and, there was, we had maybe 10 people already. I said, listen, you guys focus on the travel for the next 30 days, and let me focus on the water and just see if it was a fluke what happened. And everyone's going to be, no, you can't do that. We got to focus on the travel. We're just getting started. I know the power of focus. You guys focus. I sent that team to focus on the travel, and I go, just let me focus on the water for 30 days. If nothing really happens here in LA, I'll be right back to the travel with you. And that was the plan, you guys. So here I am. I'm in LA, staying at friends' houses. I rented a car. So I got no car, no home. I start calling people I knew and didn't tell them much over the phone, you guys. You never want to tell too much, right? Just a little bit. What I said, pique their curiosity. I said, listen, you guys, hey, how you doing? Break the ice. What's going on with family? Listen, I discovered something so important for your physical and financial health. You need to see it. and I'm going to bring it over to your house tomorrow or the next day. What's better for you? That's how I put it to everybody, you guys.
Right.
Only one person told me, he didn't say no. The first thing he said was, I'm not writing a check for anything. The guy by the name of Dobard.
He got his wall all up, right?
Well,
his guards are all up,
let me
right?
paint the picture, you guys, and here's what's good about this, because we're in the same scenario right now today, but worse. So think about April of 07. The economy was crashing due to the financial crisis, right?
Right.
Anybody who was involved in mortgage business, real estate, construction, anything to do with that industry, it was collapsing.
Right.
In 07, 08, right? And so I want you to think about that as I go through the story. The economy is collapsing, okay? We got a $4,000 machine, right? It's the Rolls Royce of machines, but it's $4,000, right? Economy's collapsing. I'm calling everybody. Now you understand Dobard. He's in the mortgage industry for 30 years. His business is tanking. That's why he goes, I'm not writing a check for anything. I go, listen, Dobard, I didn't ask you for any money and you probably couldn't afford it anyways. I go, you told me you had some concerns about your health, though. I got something to help solve your problems. What's better, tomorrow or the next day? He goes, oh, okay, whatever, the next day. And you guys, I didn't, you hear a lot of stories, people, say they deliver water, they give out a lot of water, some do, some don't. Everything works, you gotta find what works best for you. Today I'm seeing, because of, we've been around over 15 years in America, right?
Right.
We got social proof, there's so many celebrities. Today you don't have to give so much water, right?
Yes.
Sometimes you might have to, but I think today, now you can send someone on to a Zoom online demo, show them the comp plan, ask some questions, and you don't necessarily have to. But back then, I gave water, but in a unique way. So remember, I'd go to Jason's house. I say, hey, I need to pick up the machine because I got to borrow it today. I would take it to their house, you guys.
Wow.
I didn't deliver any water. I want them to see, touch, feel the equipment that's making the water. I bring over some gallons of water. They see gallons of water all the time at the store, right? They're used to that.
Yes.
They're not used to this machine. So here I go to their house, right? I also would say on the phone, I highly recommend you invite anybody you care about to come over to see this. It's that important. So there might have been 2 people, 4 people, 6 people, whatever, showing up at the person's house. I'd sit them down, you guys, in the living room, and what did I learn from Danny Ciccarella? A simple, duplicatable way to show the plan. I didn't know what I was doing either, right? I knew how to press play, though. I said, you guys are going to sit down in your living room. Where's your DVD player, or computer, TV, whatever they had. Sit down, watch this 45-minute presentation while I figure out how to hook up the machine in your kitchen. You guys, it was hysterical sometimes. I press play, let them watch, and sometimes I couldn't figure out how to hook the machine up to their faucet, right? Because, you got to learn to be a plumber. Sometimes I had to leave the house and run to the hardware store. And in those 45 minutes, I'm trying to find any little gadgets I can for their faucet. I still have in my kit, I still have a thing that screws onto the end of the garden hose where I could just shove the hose onto it. I had to use that twice, you guys, in my career where I had to hook it up to the garden hose just to show them how to make water and make them water from there. You guys are getting the full story tonight. I hope we're not going too long.
No worries.
Anyway, I'll try shortening it up now.
Okay.
You guys, so that's how I had a goal of, I had to do what Danny did. I needed to expose 50 people in 30 days. I was working 8 in the morning till faint at night, okay? I was driving, going to this person's house. Sometimes I do 3 demos a day.
Wow.
Okay. You know, and then I find someone interested, right? Then we go, okay, who do you know? Who do you know? Who do you know? And let's invite them too. And so once I found somebody that was interested, so I started with a handful of my friends, right? I'd hook up a machine at their house. We'd have the people come over. We'd press play, watch that demonstration. We'd make them water and send them home with water from that presentation. Okay? Then we'd set up a demo twice a week at that particular location. Okay? At that house. Let's say Dr. Dave's house. Then, you know, a number of people's homes, then Daniel's house. But twice a week, why did I do that? Because I wanted them to get the water as fresh as possible, right? So say 3 days in between. So it could be the 3rd, 4th day in between. Okay, we invite everybody back. Listen, you guys are going to try the water. Want you to come back next Thursday. It might be Monday with this presentation. You're going to come back Thursday, bring your containers. We're going to refill them up here again and invite anybody else you care about because we're going to do the presentation again. So we might have 5 at the first one, 10 at the next one, and you guys have just snowballed that way. Twice a week, a few different people's homes in different areas, you know. So Daniel came in, here, let me backtrack. So that first month that I went to work, right, you guys, we exposed like 70 people, more than 50 people, 70 in that 30 days. Our commission, we had, so just think, Danny Ciccarella had 27 sales, right? I had another sale that was just a customer, Japanese girl I knew, wealthy family, you know, just buying 1 unit, didn't care about the business, didn't care about money. And so, but I had my 2 1As complete, right?
Right.
With 27 sales. When I finally went to work, what happened? I skipped 2A, 3A, and went right to 4A.
Wow.
So my next 3 sales were 4A, 4A, 4A. Working with that team, we did about 30 sales in the 30 days. I don't have to tell you guys how much money. You calculate 4 points, 30 sales. You can, in your head, you can figure it out, okay? So needless to say, it was a lot of money, right? I call up Danny Ciccarella in Houston. I go, hey, can you afford to give me a raise? I just made in 2 months what he paid me in a year, you guys.
Oh.
He goes, no, I can't afford to give you that much money. I go, I can't afford to go back to work for you. I'm sorry. I'm not coming back. He wished me well. I wished him well. And you guys, the rest is history. We just kept doing the same thing over and over, introducing people. Daniel DiMacaulay came in when I was at 85 sales.
Wow. He's your 5A, right?
5A, right. So I had 2, 3, 4A, then 1 5A. I was trying to hold him off to be my 6A. You guys, so that's something you never want to do with anybody. Never hold anybody back.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
So many people who go, oh, I got a guy who's going to be great, but I don't want him in my 1A. I want to wait, right? Never, ever do that.
Big mistake.
Right. If you do that, you could lose him to someone like Gary or Bernard or Sam. He may meet somebody else if you're holding somebody off. You can't do that. When they're ready to go, they go. You run with them, okay? So, you know, I was kind of just thinking in my head, oh, it'd be great to have Daniel my 6, but Daniel, when he was ready to go, you go. So Daniel started calling me. Now, here's another thing I'll tell you guys in this story.
Okay.
Never prejudge anybody.
Right.
Okay? In my head, I was kind of prejudging Daniel DiMacaulay. Okay? Because my sponsor already tried to get him with Eli, Michael Maxwell, brought him to the office. They didn't get him.
Right.
And he invited me to a dinner. He was in January of that same year. He started in another company with a friend of ours who's top guy in prepaid legal services. So he invited me to a dinner earlier that year, you know, and telling me his plans, and he's got this, he's going to do in that company. So what would you guys think? You know, he's already got his plan in action, right? He's already 6 months into that deal. He's moving. In my head, I'm thinking, I don't know if he's interested. But I didn't let that stop me, okay? You may think that, but get it out of your head. Because you can never prejudge. You don't know what's going on behind the scenes. You have this visual here that you think is going on, that they're telling you is going on, right?
Right.
But you just got to expose and let them make the decision anyway. So anyways, I keep sharing stories with Daniel, right? That next month. Even though I didn't think he'd be interested because they failed at getting him. So, but guess what happened? Because of my fast income story, okay, he started calling me.
Wow.
I get a call from Daniel. He goes, "Can you explain this about your compensation plan?" I'm thinking in my head while I'm answering, why is Daniel asking me about our compensation plan? He's heavily into his company. He told me all his plans. You know, he's connected with the owner. Why is he asking me questions here? I answered the questions. Calls me up the next day. Can you answer this question about your compensation plan? I'm going through, my head is spinning, right?
Right.
Why a second day is he asking me about our compensation? Maybe he's trying to steal our compensation plan. I mean, you know, weird things go through my head. The third day he calls me. And he said, "Can you come over to my house and lay out the entire compensation plan?"
Wow.
I go, "I'd be more than happy to." Right then, I'm going, Danny's interested. He's hooked. So he saw my story, right?
Right.
You heard my story. So what I didn't know was Danny was working really, what our friend gave him a plan to do in that company in 6 months, he doubled the plan. And he was coming far short of his expectations of how much money he needed to be making from their plan. So he wanted to know, how did I, in just 30 days, you know, how did I make that much money in just 30 days? And he's trying to do that in 6 months with his company.
Right.
So I knew that at that point, I knew the hook was set, right?
Right.
And I go lay out the compensation plan. He goes, "Okay, you know, he's been in the industry for over 30 years, you guys. He's a pro in this industry."
Yep.
And he said, "Okay, this is the greatest compensation plan I've ever seen in my 30 years in the industry.
Wow.
If this water really does what you say it does, I'm in." And you guys, you know, my head is spinning, right? And so here's what I said to Daniel, guys. I've never said this to anybody else, you guys. Only him. And I'll tell you why. I said, "Get me 5 of your sickest friends and family." Why did I say that?
Why?
Because I needed the water to have results quickly, right? So I didn't want a bunch of healthy people. I've only used that once in my career. It was with Daniel.
Right.
Because he knew the money was there, the comp plan worked. He wanted to see the water work, and I needed some stories quick that I could prove to him in his circle of influence. I said, "I'm bringing my machine over your house on Thursday. Get me 5 of your sickest friends and family. We'll do a presentation. We'll get them all drinking the water." He invited his mom, who I've known Daniel, you guys, for 20, 30 years, 25 years. I don't know what it is. I'm aging myself now. I've known him for a long time. I've known his mom for a long time. His family, his daughter, his wife. His mom was on a walker, you guys, for 4 years. His aunt, they had to put her bedroom downstairs in her house because she couldn't climb the stairs anymore. Al Dorsey, Dr. Lee had all types of health problems. I believe those 2 gentlemen are here today 13 years later. I believe in my heart because of Kangen water. That's how bad a shape they were in. From heart attack to, diabetes, high blood pressure, you name it. The list was endless. And on medication galore. They wouldn't be here today. I don't believe. And so I don't remember who the fifth person was. Those are the four. I'll have to ask Danny. And so we did by then it's my third month, right?
Right.
By then I'm still using a DVD, you guys, to show the company about the company, right? Dr. Shinya, the company, the credibility. I still press play. Then I move everybody to the kitchen, and I'm doing the fun part live, right? The part you see in my demo, I did live because I watched the presentation. I watched the DVD so many times, you guys, at people's homes. I must have watched it 200 times so I could do that like with my eyes closed. And that was the fun part, right? So that's how I learned to do the demo. Nobody taught me. The DVD taught me.
Right.
And so I filled them up with water. I said, same thing. I'm going to bring my machine back in 3-4 days, next Friday, whatever, next Tuesday. I want you to bring your containers back, refill them, and invite 5 people you care about, to the next demonstration. And so there were 10 people at the next demonstration. By that demonstration, they were already getting results, more energy, the usual stuff, you guys. When the more unhealthy someone is, the more they're going to feel the water, right?
Yep.
And it doesn't mean a healthy person's not going to notice. As long as they drink enough water, they'll notice something too. I had, in speaking of that, I had a fitness trainer, super healthy. So here's how you get a healthy person to get results. Get them to drink 2 16-ounce glasses as quick as they can. I guarantee you they'll feel the water.
Even they are like an Iron Man healthy guy.
Oh yeah, this girl was that fitness trainer. I said, here, drink this 16-ounce glass. She downed it. I said, here, I poured her another one. I said, drink this 16-ounce glass. Downed it. She goes, I don't feel anything. I go, keep talking, you will. 30 seconds later, she's going, whoa, I can feel it in my brain. She goes, it feels like I just drank a glass of wine. She bought a machine right after that.
Woo!
So that's how you get a healthy person to feel it, you guys. They got to drink a lot quick. And 9.5.
Wow.
So anyway, so they started getting results, you guys, by the next demonstration. Daniel said, okay, he saw the results, more energy, sleeping better, the usual stuff, right? He goes, okay, I'm in. He put in his order for his SD501, and we kept doing the demo twice a week at his house. It got to be where 50 people were coming to his house. Finally, Denise couldn't handle it anymore. She said, the neighbors probably think we're drug dealers. You guys got to take this out of the house. Get a hotel room, something. So you guys, that's kind of how we hit 6A in 90 days.
Wow.
6A2 in, whatever it was, 6 months, 7 months. 2-2, I don't remember the dates, 2-3, 2-4. Now we're a -5 and working on our halfway to -6.
Awesome.
Like Bernard, I got to catch up to Bernard now. I'm trying to catch up to Bernard and Sam. So, you guys, it's been, that we just kept doing those over and over. I did that for 2 years, you guys, working 8 in the morning till faint at night. You hear people talk about 90-day plans. I did 90-day plans 4 times a year for 2 years.
Wow.
And because we did all-out massive action for 2 years, I had a winter happen the 3rd year, another winter season, but in my personal life.
Okay.
Right? I didn't have to worry about it, though. I almost lost my right eye, had 7 tears in my retina. Through that whole year, I had to go through 3 major surgeries.
Wow.
And you guys, I didn't do anything for that year. Maybe a little bit on the phone with people, but I wasn't going out, wasn't doing presentations. But because I laid the foundation rock solid,
right,
I didn't have to worry. I didn't have to stress. The money just kept coming in, right? When they told me I was about to lose my eye, I said, I don't care what you have to do. I don't care how much it costs. Fix my eye, right? And they took me in for immediate procedure, and they saved my eye, and now I got 20/20 vision in this eye, you guys. It's amazing. It's amazing what they can do, when you have the money, right?
I remember, Bob, hold on there. I remember at one time you were also having some issues with your knee, right? And I still remember you were on that motorized.
Oh no, that was hip. So yeah, that was the event in 2016, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
In Vegas.
No,
Yeah.
I was bone on my right hip. I ended up having to have hip replacement surgery.
Right.
Yeah, and that was due to I'm almost bone on my other hip, or that was my left hip. My right hip is getting close. It was due to a deformity in my hip socket structure.
Okay.
It's not perfectly round, so it's causing it to grind on, make the cartilage disappear faster than normal. So no big deal. You got money. You can get the best surgeon. My hip surgery was a breeze. I just get a new one, right? And now I get a new right one. I got a bionic eye. I got a titanium hip. Just keep them coming, right? Just we got Kangen water for the recovery. Just get some new parts. We keep going as long as we can, you guys.
Awesome.
So let me, you guys, I got to share with you right now. The world is in chaos.
Yes.
Okay? Is it the same in Asia? Or is it worse
yes.
here?
It's the same everywhere in the world, Bob. It's the same everywhere in the world.
So the global elites, I won't get into my thinking, and you guys are probably on the same page as me.
Right.
There's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes right now. This is the biggest power struggle you've ever seen in our lives is what's going on.
Right.
The virus is real, but there's more to it than what we see, and we'll see. We'll see what happens through the rest of this year. I think we're going to find out really what's going on.
Right.
And we'll see. But the economy is crashing, right?
Yes.
Here we are, 2020. It's supposed to be our most spectacular year.
Yeah.
It is our most spectacular year. I'm telling you guys. We just didn't think it would happen this way. Right? We had no idea. Who would have ever thought? Someone would have said, I'll bid $1 million that they can't shut down the global economy, right? But they did. It did. It happened.
It happened. Yes.
And you guys, so think about the economy was crashing in 2007 when I got started. We were so busy, focused on helping people with their physical and financial health, we didn't have time to watch the outside economy. We didn't have time to watch the negative news, right? We didn't have time to focus on that. We focused on creating our own economy inside of Enagic. And we created the greatest financial success of our lives in the worst economy at that time. So I tell that to you for a reason, because it's happening all over again, 2020, but multiply it by 1,000 times worse.
Yes.
I just saw something on the news. I pop on the news once in a while, you guys. I don't focus on the news. we had just to see what's going on in the world. We got to see what's happening around us. But I don't focus on it.
Right.
They said, and I only watch one news channel, the one I feel that's telling a little more of the truth, at least here in America.
Okay.
Most of the news channels are biased here. They tell one story. It's all they're the ones doing all the negative, fear factor, making everybody afraid. But on the news they said 76 million people.
Okay.
And I think that's just in maybe just North America, you guys. I want you to think about how big this is. 76 million people that are either out of work, laid off, but they're looking for a plan B. They're
That's
looking.
true. That's true.
So, what does that tell you guys?
The market is ready. Big market.
The fishing, you guys, if you're a fisherman, it's time not to fish with a pole and line. It's time to fish with a big net.
Yes.
Okay? Because there's millions. So think about around the world. There's probably hundreds of millions of people. Oh, and I'll prove that point. I was on watching some social media gurus, right? I'm trying to get my game, learn my game about social media so I can get better. Like you young ones, the young ones on the line here, the social media experts, the millennials, right? They're already expert at the fishing game for this market, right? They can cast the big net.
Right.
So, but I was watching a couple social media experts, and they did a search right on there, on the Zoom, where you could see they searched work from home and work from home business.
Yes.
And they showed the line was kind of flatlining, and then it went spiked up just like this. That's how many people are searching. Millions upon millions of people. Why? We're stuck where?
At home. At home.
At home, you guys. Everybody needs a work from home opportunity like never before. And now look with Zoom has become so popular, right? This is causing all of our teams. Everybody's business is spiking right now. Enagic had record sales, right?
Yes.
Out of our California office, we had record sale in I think April. We may have had a record sale in May also.
Yeah.
But even my team members are telling me, I'm seeing them post. They're making so many sales. People are coming out of the woodwork. People that were on the fence. People that been to demos before but didn't take action. Right?
Yep.
They're calling up saying, hey, how do I get one of your machines? Why? Because everybody's stuck at home. They're either looking for physical health, something that can make them healthier, right? We got sanitary water. They got to sterilize and clean their foods, right?
Yep.
Everything around them needs to be sterilized nowadays, right? Because they're putting the fear in everybody. Can't touch anything. Got to go outside wearing a crazy mask, right? Yep. And kills me when I see people driving, you guys. They're in the car by themselves.
Wearing the mask.
And they're wearing a mask. That's people that watch the news too much. It's insane. They're going to get sicker wearing the mask all the time, 8 hours a day. It's crazy. But that's our world right now. But people are stuck at home. They need physical help. They need financial help. They need a work from home opportunity. Who's there to say, come home, right?
Right.
Who's there? You guys, you got to get good at now's the time. Now's the time than ever before in history of Enagic's business, of the company. Now is then your history of your career, no matter how long it's been, whether it's a month, whether it's 5 years, whether it's 10 years. Now is the time that you have to put the pedal to the metal. You have to do like we did when we started.
Yes.
And start 8 till faint, because there's so many people that need you. There's so many people that need us.
True.
They need what we have. We have one of the greatest opportunities in history out there, and we have one of the greatest products in history. Okay?
Yes. Yes.
We have an amazing company, amazing owners. Don't get me wrong, you guys. It's not perfect. You'll never find a perfect company, 100% perfect.
Right? There never was, never is,
what?
and never will be.
Right, never will be perfect.
Bob,
We work around the imperfections, but guess what?
Yeah.
The product works 100% of the time.
Right.
The checks cash 100% of the time, right? So
Right.
we work around any other problems, okay? Okay, that may be there occasionally.
Right.
But we have a great company, great product, great ownership. That's the key.
Yes.
Okay?
That's true.
A great philosophy of the owners. If you haven't read their book, read their book so you understand the people behind the company. You know, they're all about giving back. They're not about, buying mansions and jets and, yachts like most owners of most companies, right?
Right.
I don't even think they wear jewelry, you guys. They don't believe in things. They're like, you can't take them with you, right? Possessions. They believe about, that's why they have it's kind of branded wrong, you guys. That's why they have the E8PA. It's kind of the wrong name. E8PA, the Enagic 8 Prosperity Association.
Okay.
It's more like, I've been in some other companies where they call it their foundation, right?
Right.
And it's about giving back to
Yes.
the children, or like that's what Mr. and Miss O'Shea are about, doing things. That's why they have the kids golf academies, the kids
Right.
bowling leagues. They do stuff for the elderly.
Yes.
Right? There's all kinds of things they're doing about giving back in their community, in Okinawa,
Right.
in other, and they expect us to do the same in our local communities. So,
Yeah.
Gary, if you want to ask me any questions, I know I probably went overboard.
No worries,
Got
Bob.
to hear the whole story, you guys.
Yeah. No worries, Bob. Just before I call up another amazing gentleman, I just want to add to what you mentioned about the owners, Mr. and Mrs. Oshiro, the people that really works behind having all this for us. I had the great opportunity, a blessed opportunity to be with them, both of them, just before the lockdown in Malaysia. As in, I was there at the end of February. So the lockdown started like somewhere around March or something like that, middle of March, early March. So can you imagine, guys, what Bob was telling you is absolutely true? Can you imagine Mr. and Mrs. Oshiro, the owner of a company that's doing something like 600 million US dollars? That was what I was told by Arima-san last year. Huge company presence all over the world, products that touch people's lives. Both of these very humble couple just having dinner with me in a very modest restaurant, which they own in their hotel in Okinawa. And after a couple of drinks, and they see that obviously that I'm pretty like high, the wife of Mr. Oshiro, Mrs. Oshiro, just walked to the counter and booked me a room, take the key, and I mean, you can't see this, guys. You can't see this in any other company, and I saw it with my own eyes. And that heart connection that I can clearly see with them, it's truly amazing. And that sets the foundation why this company is so amazing, why Bob is telling you all these stories, why so many stories is coming out from all over the world. Truly, we are so blessed to even be associated with them. I'm sure you agree 100% with me on this, Bob, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yes. Okay, Bob, without further ado, I'd like to call on somebody because while you are talking, while I'm listening so carefully to you, this individual has been messaging me and my inbox is going to explode. He is none other than your good friend, my good friend, the one and only also Bernard Chan, and he's got some things to say and he's got some great questions to ask you. Bernard, you can unmute yourself. Let's rock, Bernard. Come. Let's bring Bernard along.
Hi everyone,
Bernard.
Hi Bob. As always, thanks for availing yourself to the Kangen community at large and also to my team. Everyone, I am so excited to add in my 2 cents worth to what Bob has shared. But first of all, I want to acknowledge Bob. See, when I started, that means that is before most of you. There was no office in Singapore. My upline wasn't based in Singapore for too long, so I befriended Bob within a month of the business when I went for rank recognition in Torrance, and he welcomed me with open arms, So without a branch office, ladies and gentlemen, without long-term upline support, without branch manager, I sought Bob's insight a lot. The team has grown well, and I want to acknowledge the team, the leaders like Judy and Sam and Gary. But you see, I had to seek Bob's insight a lot. Also, Bob, I just want to acknowledge and thank you and honor you for two things here. Number one is for being involved in that DVD. When I met, most of you have watched the video by Daniel and Bob, and when I met both of them, I thought I was meeting some two Kangen deities. And Bob, those were precious tools, and thanks for availing yourself. And what I want to honor you more for, you openly was always there for me, always there for me, and we've gone on to develop deep friendships. And guys, if today primarily through Sam, Gary, Judy, it was a lot to do with the confidence that I had with the company through Bob, because there was no office in Singapore. So if you are thankful to Bob for today and what I just mentioned, please indicate in the chat group, and just to honor the man, Yeah. So Bob, thank you.
Thank you, Bernard. I remember you only had 120 sales when I came to Singapore.
Yes, and I remember I was so hungry to milk you, and indeed I did.
You did a good job of putting me to work. Every night I was there, 5 nights in a row.
Okay,
Judy's
Gary,
laughing.
Gary, can you make me a co-host, please, Gary? I just want to show one photo.
Yes, you are. You already are.
Okay, I was in Vegas in 2018 December, and after Vegas, I was in for an industry event, and after that I decided I went for a Honolulu Marathon, and after that I went to stay in the guest house in Torrance in LA, and so this was 17th of December. Bob, you remember 2018?
Yeah, of course.
Yes, and this was the guest house that I stayed free, provided by Enagic. And okay, so what happened then was I learned so much, and there was something. Can I ask Bob, is Daniel your biggest line?
Yeah, his biggest line.
Okay, before I ask something of you, I just wanted to mention I caught something that day. Some of us were mentioning, Bob, see whether you agree with this point, that it's not a perfect company. There's ups and downs. I remember the initial days, Judy, Gary, and Sam and myself, the company was hovering at 4,000 plus units a month, 4,000 plus units a month, 4,000. And the moment we did 5,000, we were all so excited. And what I heard from that day, Daniel said, in the midst of all the problems and challenges that the company has, it keeps going like that, and boop, it goes up another level. Then it stays at a new high. Then boop, it goes up to another level. So guys, we can either be paralyzed by the problems, while the rest of us will continue to ride the poop and a poop. Is that true, Bob? Is that of your experience since 07?
Absolutely true. Over 13 years. Some people, you guys, some people have let that affect them, and they're no longer here today. But just like Bernard's saying, the ones that keep going, the next level, we're all still here and keeps growing. I think our team had record sales. We're getting close to 3,000 units a month now.
Wow.
Nice. Well done. And the last thing, okay, Daniel joined Bob's team when Bob had 78 units. And hear this. Here's the reason why Daniel is the biggest team. Bob, can you briefly mention Daniel's monthly planner, what it was at the beginning. Can you mention that, please?
Oh, sure. Well, if you look at, and Daniel's you guys, he's the neatest person I know and has the best handwriting in the world. It's like artistic, his handwriting. But his day planner is, it's loaded from top to bottom every day. You guys, if you open up his day planner, it's always like that.
Thank you, Bob. So guys, I just want to get you guys to hear what I know of Bob's strongest line, although he didn't join at the beginning. His, Daniel's boss at the beginning was his day planner, and it was full. So I just wanted to input these things and let you all hear from what benefits I've had with my friendship with Bob. I've learned from Bob. So over to you, Gary. Thank you, Bob.
Hey, thanks, Bernard. Thank you.
Guys.
Thank you, Bernard. Thank you so much. Awesome. I mean, we've come a long way. Bob, you have been in Enagic for 13 or 15 years now.
13 years.
April. 13 years. I'm 9. I'm sure Bernard is also about 9. Bernard is about the same. So we've seen so much changes from the age of Enagic without Facebook, without YouTube, to now having Zooms. At any one time, those days, guys, if you want to see Bob Gridelli, you probably need to be, I want to show this video. I want to show this photo. And Bob, I'm not sure even if you remember this photo. This photo is like, I just want to give the crowd here, there's like 166 on Zoom, and there is like, let me see, there is like a 68. That means we have more than 200 over people now watching live all over the world. Guys, when the first time I met Bob, I'm not sure, Bob, do you really remember when was the first time I met you, Bob? Do you?
Hey, where did we meet first?
Yeah, you don't, right?
Refresh my memory.
Okay. It's in the most romantic place on earth. Take a guess. Paris.
Paris.
Okay. Why I say that? Because, all this while, I think the Paris trip was in 2011. And if I'm not mistaken, it was just 4 months. Because there was a promotion, a contest that was thrown out by Hong Kong, and to do a certain number of sales, and everybody says impossible, the number is so big. I told myself, I don't care, I'm going for it, just like Bob, you either kill me or I'm going to win the thing. So I'm so blessed, I'm so glad I won that contest, fully paid trip to Paris. And that was my first time getting to see the superstar, because for the last 3 months, it was everything on video, right? DVD. And then it's like, wow, Bob, everything is, wow, Bob, Daniel. And then I still remember when I went to this convention. It's a Europe convention. It was done in Paris. And of all places, we met on the boat. You still remember that cruise?
Yeah,
okay.
Cruise, that was great.
Let me bring you back to 9 years ago, Bob. Let me bring you to 9 years ago. You look at how Bob looked those days, all right, guys? Look at that.
Oh,
That's Bobby Gridelli.
My wife would go now, oh man, what's up with that hair?
So yeah, that was the Bobby Gridelli that I first met. That a lot of people thought that was my youngest daughter. No, that was my third daughter that actually grew up already. And that was my first experience with Bob, and so it was so nice. Just like what Bernard shared about, getting to meet the person that actually played a lot of role in our life. Although at that point of time, Bob was probably thinking, hey, who is this young kid, Malaysia, what? People still live on trees or something? Right, so but this photo meant a lot. This photo meant a lot to me, Bob, because yeah.
Wait, don't take it down yet.
All right, sure. I'll take a snapshot here too. All right. So it was truly amazing, Bob. You and Daniel and a few other leaders played a lot of big role in the early days when there wasn't any YouTube, Facebook, and all this. And you were very instrumental, yeah, very instrumental to the Asian explosion. Although, and guys, think about this. Bob isn't even in the lineage of our business. Can you imagine that? Somebody from a different group, okay, from a different lineage, played such an important role in the explosion of our business. And I'm very sure Bernard have just spoken me, and I believe even Sam and all the leaders here will agree with me that we to a certain extent we are quite indebted to you, Bob, you and Daniel, for this this historic milestone of the Enagic explosion in Asia.
Yeah. And we're all on Team Enagic.
Yes, that's true. We are one big Enagic family, right? Okay. We still have about 20 minutes. Okay, guys. I'll be asking Bob one or two more questions. But should you have any questions for Bob that we feel is very relevant, because I know everybody will just be punching into the chat button. We will. Jeffrey over there will scan through and send me those questions, and we will ask Bob on your behalf. All right. So, Bob, one question to you is that you have been in the business for the last 13 years. All right. So it's a really long time. I mean, of course. I mean, again, here is another contrast, right? Of late, I've been listening to the recording of Dexter Yeager. Do you know this guy called the late Dexter Yeager, Bob?
I'm sure you've heard. It was, the top guy in Amway. Did he pass away?
Yeah, he passed away. I'm sure some couple of years back. Oh, okay. I love his motivation. I love his energy. I love his mindset. And I'm just thinking out loud. Dexter Yeager, during that recording, is a very old recording, is 50 years in Amway. Can you imagine 50 years? Yeah. And Bob is 13, I'm 9, so we are like babies, right? Can you imagine, Bob, our 50th anniversary in Enagic? Probably by then we have 3 generations of our own children doing this. But can you imagine that kind of emotion, that kind of legacy, that kind of wow, and then I show that photo that we first took in Paris. Sure. Woo! Okay, so Bob.
Might have a few more new parts by then.
Yeah. Okay, Bob, some people actually ask this question. Like in your case, in a way you managed to get Daniel DiMercalli to your team because he actually got a glimpse of, somehow he heard of your income, how you made that 30 days, big checks and all that. What advice would you give to people who doesn't have that kind of results, financial results to show, and they want to get somebody like Daniel into the picture? What's your advice for people like that, Bob?
So, just like they, in social media, they call it attraction marketing, right? So whether you're doing it in social media or not, you are attraction marketing.
Yep.
It's exactly what happened, what I did with Daniel and, a lot of people. They become attracted to you, right? Based on what? Number one, who you are, how you are, the person you are, right? Because people want to work with and buy from someone they like, right? So you have to become attractive, okay? And that may take, work. You may have to work, but how do we attract people? with our stories. So, when someone comes into business, the two most important things are you have to be serious and you have to create a product story, right?
Right.
Because what do? I mean, we all do the same things. If you boil it down to its simplest form, right? We share the product, right?
Yep.
Which means we share our story, our product story. And I've been telling the same story for 13 years. I started drinking the water, more energy, sleeping better, lost 10 pounds in 4 weeks, no more swelling in my knees when I run or work out. That's my product story for 13 years, right? Now, you can create a slow story and take 6 months to do that, or you can create a fast story and take weeks to do it. Which one is more attractive, or for attraction marketing, which one is going to draw people in better? A fast story, right? Because people want fast results, right?
Yes.
So we share the product. We also share what? We share the opportunity, right? We share the product, we share the opportunity, and we promote events. Those are the three simple things in the simplest form that we all do. So if you share the product story, then we share the business, the opportunity, okay? So you can create a slow income story or a fast story. I don't care how long you're in the business. Let's say you had a slow start. From tomorrow, you can change your story, right? You can, by the action you take tomorrow, you can create a new fast story, and whatever it is, you talk to more people per day, in the next week, you created so many more sales, which created this much of a check. You can create a new story every week, every month. If you don't like the story you have, create a new one. It's that simple. You just have to do the work to create the story. And that attracts people to you if you have a fast story. Better than, if I made that much money in 6 months, would I have gotten Daniel? I don't think so.
No.
It wasn't a fast enough and big enough story in a short period of time to get him, to attract him. So I attracted him because of the fast story, you guys. That's the only reason. So if you're not attracting the right people, look at your story.
Okay.
If you're not happy with your story, change the story. Because the storyline can change every month. It's like you're the CEO of your own company. If you don't like what's happening, fire the CEO. But you can turn around and rehire yourself the next day, right? With a new plan. Change the story. You guys all can change the story. Right now is the best time ever to change the story. Change the story for you, change the story for somebody else, change the story for millions of people that are out there that need a new story.
Bob,
we can have a new slogan. Change your story, change your life.
I was about to say that, Bob. Change your story, change your life. Yes. Wow, that tip alone, Bob, is worth millions. New movement, right? Amazing, Bob. Guys, I'm not sure if you are like me to have a pen and paper by your side, but if you are not taking some of these notes and you are not putting these tips into action later, you are missing out big time, right?
I gotta write that one down too. So
million dollars.
I gotta write that one down.
Yeah, you better, Bob. You better. Okay, Bob. There are many questions that flows into my mailbox right now. I'm just going to ask you a few. This is from one of my top leaders from Australia, Perth. And she asks you, what's your greatest advice, Bob, for new distributors, people who just got on board and really fascinate to be like you one day, okay? Like to be, the Bob Gridelli of Australia, the Bob Gridelli of Asia, the Bob Gridelli of, what's your advice for new people? If you were to give your new people an advice today, what's your advice for new people to do the Kangen business?
You know what? It's just just what I said. They gotta really get serious. They gotta get focused, especially now the time we're living in. Anybody can get serious. Anybody can get focused. They have to. Probably the biggest thing they have to do. They have to expand their horizon. They have to expand their dreams. If maybe the dream's not big enough, right? They always say if your why doesn't make you cry, it's not big enough.
Wow.
And you need to really take some time, sit down with yourself, sit down with your family, evaluate, what you want out of life, where you want to go, as a family, what do you want to do? How do you want to change the story together?
Right.
And then just put together a plan. Your plan, you got to have a plan. The plan has to be like Bernard was talking about, Daniel's day planner, right? There's a plan in the planner every day. The list. Who am I talking to today? How many people? Who are those people? Right? You look at Daniel's day planner; it's full.
Yep.
Right? Even though Daniel says he's retired today, right? Daniel could never retire. I bet. As a matter of fact, I need to go see him for lunch or something. Yeah, and I'm going to ask him to bring his day planner, Bernard, and I'll take a picture for you.
That's great.
Present day planner, I bet still looks the same. And so you guys just got to get serious with the plan. You got so many great leaders here to help you, and you just gotta have enough. You gotta believe in yourself. Number one, you gotta have belief in yourself. You gotta have belief in your product. You gotta have belief in your company. Those major things, and then you go from there. You create your plan. Make sure your dreams, your why is big enough. Your why's got to be big enough to get you up out of bed every day, to get you on the phone, to get you to go the extra step, get you to go the extra mile when you don't feel like it. You don't feel like talking to someone today. If you're looking at your why's got to get you through the winter season.
Yeah.
Okay? You guys, because you're going, just as the seasons of life and business, just like Jim Rohn, I loved because he grew up a farm boy, right? That's how I created that story of farming.
I know.
It's such a good story, and it relates to everybody in all our lives, whether that be your spiritual life, your physical life, your financial life, all aspects of our life. We go through 4 seasons. You go through, we go through the after winter season is what? It's always going to come, right? After winter comes spring. After spring, right, comes summer. After summer comes fall. Then after fall comes winter. But what do farmers do? They know the seasons are coming. You can't change the seasons, right? The only thing you can change is yourself and how you react to the seasons, right?
Yep.
So if you plan and prepare for the winter season, like a farmer does, he harvests his food. They do their planting, their watering, the growing. Then they harvest, and then what? They don't have to work in the winter, right? They're already set back for the winter season. So we have to do that financially. That's really important, right? We're going through one of the greatest winter seasons, the winter of 2020. It's going to be called, and it's the worst season ever. It's the hardest winter probably the most of the population has ever had to experience and go through. But guess what? those of us that have prepared for this winter don't feel the winter, right?
Right.
Our lives aren't being affected by the worst winter season in our history since I've been alive, anyways. You know, there have been some other winter seasons in the past in history that may have been worse, but in our life, to me, this is the worst winter season. And I got to be honest with you, we don't really feel it, okay? We're used to working from home, right? Yeah, granted, maybe you can't go out and meet the team and, you know, do the live demos that we like to do and with all the people and, you know, our big event, we should be going to Las Vegas. Yeah, we love that stuff. So that's, you know, that's something where just for now, it's a temporary setback, right? It's part of the winter we're going through. But financially, we're not affected by the worst winter in my living history, right? We're having record months, you guys.
Amazing.
So, yeah, it's incredible. I thank God. I thank, Enagic. I thank all of you. I thank our team Enagic around the world. We thank you. We appreciate you. We love you all. And you guys, you just have to prepare for these seasons of life and business. And, you know, this won't be the only winter we experience. You know, again, another one will come. Who knows? It may be this year yet. You know, we'll wait. They haven't stopped throwing stuff at us yet for this year. But when you're prepared for the winter, you don't feel it as much. You know, and so, you know, that goes with planning your business. You know, what if I didn't work, you know, all out massive action the first 2 years of my business, and I haven't had to work that hard, you guys, ever since. Is it worth it? I used to always say that it's a 2 to 5 year plan. If you guys can focus for a 2 to 5 year plan, is it worth it? Is it worth it to get all the distractions out of your way? Is it worth it to get rid of the TV? Is it worth it to get rid of the whatever it is you're doing, you know, going out to whatever it is, too much partying, whatever, maybe not now, but whatever it is you're doing that's not part of the plan, you know, that can change your life. You know, change your story, change your life. I like that one. I don't know, maybe someone else used that before, but I don't know. We're all going to use that one. Not only change your water, change your life, you're going to change your story and change your life, right? And so, you guys, you just have to, you know, you got to do it. Just do it. Is it worth it? Of course. You got to put in sacrifice, but is it worth it? Of course. Is it worth it to get you through a winter like this that a lot of us don't even feel it? You know, is it worth it? Yes, it's worth it. You know, so you are worth it. You guys are worth it. So, you know, create a bigger why, some bigger dreams, some bigger goals, and everybody here is worth it. You're worth it. Your kids are worth it. Your family's worth it. They all deserve to have the best. You know, they all deserve to have a better life. Spiritually, physically, financially, mentally, everything.
Awesome. Thank you, Bob.